Ever seen a Ferrari? Of course you have. That gleaming red, the roaring engine, the iconic prancing horse badge. It screams speed, luxury, and pure, unadulterated passion. But what if I told you the man behind this automotive titan, Enzo Ferrari, started from absolutely nothing? Born to a humble blacksmith, facing rejection, battling unimaginable personal loss, his journey is not just inspiring, it's a masterclass in turning obsession into an empire. Get ready, because this is the untold story of how Enzo Ferrari built the world's most legendary supercar brand, against all odds. Our story kicks off in 1898, in a small, dusty workshop in Modena, Italy. Young Enzo Ferrari wasn't born with a silver spoon, he was born with grease under his fingernails. His father, Alfredo, was a metalworker, a blacksmith, pounding iron day in and day out. This was a world of grit, labor, and practical skills, not glittering luxury. But even then, little Enzo had a fire in his belly, a curiosity that would soon ignite into an all-consuming passion. He was about to discover a love that would change his destiny. The year is 1908. A 10-year-old Enzo is dragged by his father and brother to the Circuito di Bologna to witness his first-ever car race. The roar of the engines. The smell of burnt fuel. The blur of speed. For a boy from a quiet blacksmith shop, it was an absolute explosion of the senses. In that moment, watching those magnificent machines tear around the track, a switch flipped. Enzo Ferrari wasn't just observing a race, he was envisioning his future. He was hooked, instantly, irrevocably. Just as Enzo was coming of age, ready to chase his newfound passion, the world plunged into chaos. World War I erupted, ripping families apart. Enzo himself was conscripted, serving in the Italian army. But the war wasn't the only enemy. The devastating 1918 flu pandemic swept through Europe, claiming millions. Tragically, it took Enzo's father, Alfredo, and his beloved brother, Dino, within months of each other. Enzo himself fell gravely ill. This wasn't just loss, it was a soul-crushing blow that would forever shape the man. Returning from the war, scarred but not broken, Enzo faced a grim reality. His family was shattered, his prospects uncertain. He moved to Turin, the heart of Italy's burgeoning automotive industry, dreaming of a job with the giants. He applied to Fiat, the biggest name in Italian cars. Can you imagine the scene? A hopeful young man, recently out of uniform, knocking on the door of the biggest auto company in the country. And what did they say? No thanks. Rejected. But Enzo wasn't one to accept defeat. Not ever. Rejection from Fiat could have ended his dream right there. But Enzo's fire wasn't extinguished, it was stoked. He found a job, not with the biggest, but with a smaller company, CMN, Costruzioni Meccaniche Nazionali, first delivering chassis, then quickly climbing to test driver. His talent behind the wheel didn't go unnoticed. Soon, the legendary Alfa Romeo came calling. In 1920, Enzo Ferrari officially joined Alfa Romeo, first as a driver, then moving into sales. The door to his racing destiny had finally, gloriously, swung open. Enzo's driving career at Alfa Romeo was successful, but his true genius lay beyond the cockpit. He was a natural organizer, a born leader. He understood the mechanics, the strategy, the human element of racing like no one else. In 1929, he founded Scuderia Ferrari, literally Ferrari stable, as a racing team. This wasn't building cars yet, it was managing Alfa Romeo's privateer drivers, giving them the infrastructure and support to win. This was Enzo's first step in forging his own independent empire, even if still tethered to Alfa. As Enzo's professional life soared, his personal life brought both immense joy and unimaginable pain. In 1932, his cherished son, Alfredo Dino Ferrari, was born. Enzo poured all his hopes and dreams into Dino, envisioning him as his successor, a future engineering genius. But fate, once again, dealt a cruel hand. As Dino grew, he was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, a progressive, incurable disease. Enzo, the relentless competitor, was powerless against this silent, insidious enemy. The man who could conquer racetracks was helpless here. The suffering Enzo endured watching his son's decline was profound. Dino passed away in 1956, at the tender age of 24. This loss devastated Enzo, leaving a permanent scar. But in his grief, Enzo found a new resolve. He channeled his anguish into his work, determined to honor Dino's memory by building the most advanced engines possible. The iconic V6 engine, which Dino had contributed to developing, was named after him, forever cementing his son's legacy at the heart of the Ferrari brand. A tribute forged in passion and pain. While Enzo built Scuderia Ferrari into a formidable force for Alfa Romeo, tensions simmered. Enzo, ever the visionary, wanted more control, more freedom to innovate, to build his own race cars. Alfa Romeo, however, wanted him to remain a subordinate, a mere manager. The clashes were inevitable. By 1939, the partnership fractured beyond repair. Enzo left Alfa Romeo, but not without a catch, a non-compete clause. He was legally forbidden from using the Ferrari name in racing or car manufacturing for 4 agonizing years. 4 years. That's an eternity for a man burning with Enzo's passion. But a legal clause couldn't stop him. He was a master of strategy, both on and off the track. So, he simply changed tactics. In 1939, he founded Auto Avio Costruzioni, AAC. Under this new name, he started designing and building cars, meticulously working towards his dream, biding his time. The AAC 815 was the first car born from his independent vision, a direct precursor, a true Ferrari in spirit, just waiting for its moment to emerge from the shadows. Just as AAC was gaining momentum, fate intervened again. World War II engulfed Italy, bringing production to a screeching halt. Maranello, where Enzo had moved his operations, became a target. His factory was bombed, his plans disrupted, his dreams once again put on hold. But Enzo Ferrari was forged in adversity. He wasn't a man who broke easily. Even amidst the rubble and despair, he was already planning for the future, sketching designs, dreaming of the day he could unleash his true vision. His resolve was unshaken. With the war finally over, and the restrictive non-compete clause expired, Enzo's moment had arrived. In 1947, a sleek, open-top two-seater rolled out of his Maranello factory. It was the Ferrari 125S, and it was glorious. Powered by a groundbreaking 1.5-liter V12 engine, a direct nod to Dino's engineering influence, this wasn't just a car, it was a statement. This was the culmination of a blacksmith's son's dream, overcoming war, loss, and rejection. The prancing horse was finally, officially, unleashed upon the world. The Ferrari 125S wasted no time making its mark. Just weeks after its debut, it secured its first victory at the Rome Grand Prix. This was just the beginning. Enzo Ferrari's singular focus was winning, and win they did. From the brutal endurance races of Le Mans to the pinnacle of Formula One, Ferrari became synonymous with victory. The Scarlet Red machines, roaring around tracks worldwide, weren't just fast, they were symbols of Enzo's unyielding pursuit of performance, a testament to his obsession. But here's the kicker: racing, especially at the highest levels, is incredibly expensive. Enzo's true passion was the racetrack, but to keep his racing dream alive, he needed cash. Lots of it. And so, somewhat reluctantly, Enzo turned to producing road cars for the wealthy elite. He famously declared, "I build engines and attach wheels." The road cars weren't his ultimate goal, they were simply the means to an end, the financial engine that fueled his racing obsession. A necessary evil, perhaps, but one that created automotive masterpieces. Enzo Ferrari was not a man to compromise. He was known as Il Commendatore, a demanding, intense, and often ruthless perfectionist. He pushed his engineers, his drivers, and his entire team to their absolute limits, constantly seeking that extra fraction of a second, that ultimate edge in performance. His exacting standards were legendary. If a part wasn't perfect, it was scrapped. If a driver wasn't delivering, he was out. This uncompromising vision, this singular obsession, was the secret ingredient in every Ferrari. In the early 1960s, a titan came knocking. Ford, seeking to dominate motorsports, attempted to buy Ferrari. Imagine the scene: the American behemoth, ready to absorb the Italian thoroughbred. Enzo was willing to sell, but with one crucial condition: he must retain complete control over the racing division. Ford balked. They wanted everything. Enzo, fiercely protective of his racing legacy and his name, famously walked away from the massive deal. This rejection sparked one of the greatest rivalries in motorsport history, leading to the legendary Ford GT40. By refusing Ford, Enzo solidified Ferrari's independent spirit. And what a spirit it became! Ferrari transcended mere automobiles, it became a global icon. The prancing horse logo, the signature Rosso Corsa red, the unparalleled performance, the sheer artistry of its design, these weren't just features, they were statements. Ferrari became a symbol of Italian passion, a dream machine for enthusiasts worldwide. It wasn't just about speed, it was about aspiration, about pushing boundaries, about having a piece of Enzo's relentless vision. As the years wore on, Enzo, now in his 70s, knew he needed to secure the future of his beloved company. In 1969, he made a pivotal decision, selling a majority stake to Fiat, the very company that had rejected him decades earlier. This wasn't defeat, it was strategic foresight. Enzo remained deeply involved, often seen at the factory, his presence a constant reminder of the company's roots. He ensured that Ferrari's core identity, its racing soul, would continue to thrive for generations to come, well beyond his lifetime. Enzo Ferrari passed away in 1988, at the age of 90. The world lost a visionary, a titan of industry. But his spirit didn't just fade, it became ingrained in the very DNA of the brand. Every new Ferrari, whether a track-dominating F1 car or a street-legal masterpiece, carries a piece of Enzo's uncompromising passion, his relentless pursuit of engineering excellence, and his unwavering belief in the power of dreams. His legacy isn't just horsepower, it's an enduring testament to what one man's obsession can achieve. So, let's recap this incredible journey. From a blacksmith's son in Medina to a revered commendator of the automotive world. A boy who witnessed the horrors of war and the agony of personal loss. A young man rejected by the industry's giants. Enzo Ferrari was an underdog in every sense of the word. But through sheer passion for racing, relentless perseverance, and an unshakable obsession with performance, he didn't just build cars. He built an empire, a legend, a global phenomenon. His story is a blueprint for true grit. Today, a Ferrari isn't just a vehicle, it's a symbol of human aspiration, a monument to the relentless pursuit of perfection. It's the roar of an engine that tells a story of triumph over adversity, a sleek design that embodies decades of innovation born from a blacksmith's shop. Enzo Ferrari proved that when your passion is strong enough, when your will is unyielding, and when you refuse to let setbacks define you, you can literally build a world-beating legacy from nothing. What will your passion build?